I've been with a dude that had a super micro penis. Like, I'm
The size of your thumb, for people that are listening. The size of
hard.
your thumb. Oh my God.
Hard.
It's not all about the motion in the ocean. And
Dude,
how
at that point,
size matters.
it was like I was having sex with a woman. It was almost like I had to move a certain way to like feel anything. Like I didn't feel any of that. None of that.
Welcome to Pink Flag Podcast, episode 2.
Hey guys, what's up?
Girls will be girls. I am one of your hosts, Lindsay Holmes.
And I'm Emma
Tell us your last name.
Knutson.
Okay. You don't always say your last name.
Yeah, I actually should say my last name because y'all won't be able to pronounce it. It's Knutson. It's not Knutson. It's not Knutson. It's not Knutson. It is Knutson.
Knutson. So welcome to the podcast, guys. We're officially at episode 2.
Boop, boop.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
How you feeling today?
I feel great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be a really good one.
So we're coming off of Halloween weekend, for anyone wondering, and
how many brain cells are we running on right now?
4.
4. 2 and 3/4 for me.
I have 4 left. So we're super excited to be here with you guys this week, obviously. And we've got some kind of fun topics planned. So
I feel like we should kind of talk about Friday.
You want to talk about what we did this weekend?
Yeah, going out in Pensacola and everything. I think we should. So Halloween weekend going on in Pensacola, Florida. And we saw some pretty interesting costumes. There was actually some pretty cool ones. There was one where this girl had like a whole UFO set up on top of her head and lights were coming down. Like it was like, and it was, you remember from Mean Girls, Regina George's headset?
I did see that
neck
one. Yeah, the neck
It was
brace.
basically that connected to like a big old UFO with lights coming down. It was so cool. But that was a cool one. And what was that guy that you were talking to? He was dressed as a pirate?
Yeah, I did see like a straight up girl look like she walked off the Victoria's Secret runway. She was hot.
Nice.
She was a babe.
We
Loved
love.
it. I saw
Halloween.
something that's super like, I don't know. It's like, don't wait for Halloween. Dress slutty every day of the year.
Yes.
And I live for that. Girls, live your best life.
Well, and if you
Breathe a
listened
nipple.
to episode 1, you did wear your lingerie out, didn't you?
I did.
Under your costume. And guess who saw it? Nobody.
So yeah, that's kind of one of the things I do if I feel like I need just a little extra kick of like confidence. And this year for Halloween, I absolutely wore something kind of scandalous under my costume that no one saw. It was great. Loved it. Great for me.
Power.
Was it as good for you as it was for me? Absolutely, baby.
Yes. I got to see it.
So can I talk about a super duper creepy thing that happened to me this week that
Please.
I really wish, like, men, please take a note. Do not leave a note on a strange girl's car if she doesn't see you and doesn't know what you look like. So this week I went to a hardware store and came out to the car and there was like a bag under my windshield wiper. It was like a bag.
Dude, that's some sex trafficking shit, though.
Super creepy. So that was my first thought. So I like had a little bit of a panic, but I'm like, okay, I'm in a well-lit parking lot. There are people around.
Yeah.
I feel moderately safe. Also,
so like, was it in a Walmart bag?
For anyone that tries to F with me, it was like a Target bag or something. But
Target in a Walmart parking lot.
No, I was at the hardware store.
Oh, I thought you said it was at Walmart.
No, I was at the hardware store.
Oh.
I was at like Lowe's or Home Depot.
So a man in his 40s?
I have no idea how old he was, but I see the little bag. I grabbed it and then jumped in my car and locked the doors because I'm a paranoid freako. And I looked at it and it was a note that said, like, gosh, you're beautiful. If you ever need anything with like a bunch of lines under the anything, give me a call with a phone number.
Dude, just the fact that it started with gosh means that it was a man in his 40s.
Maybe. Oh. So I, being the girl that I am, because I've had conversations with my guy friends where guys react drastically different than girls to certain things. Like I've had guy friends straight up be like, man, one of my fantasies is to have a girl follow me home from like seeing me in traffic or something and then follow me to my house and want to fuck. And I'm like, that is our biggest fear. That is a legitimate nightmare. That's happened to me one time, and I had to do laps around my neighborhood while I was on the phone with the cops Like, there is a psycho behind me. I don't know why he's following me, but send someone to arrest and put him in a cell somewhere.
Yeah.
So guys and girls, like, I guess the way that our brains work are incredibly different. So for this one, it was super creepy. So
we compiled a little list.
Well, I sent a screenshot of that to my brother.
Oh, yeah.
And for the man out there, I apologize because my brother 110% pretended to be me for a little while messaging this guy. My brother has a really weird sense of humor, so I know he had a really.
Do you know what he said? Anything?
We're not gonna go into it. It was nothing of a sexual nature, but he did end the conversation by telling the dude that it was not me, and to never message him again. So for guys out there, we have compiled a list because we get this question a lot from our guy friends or just guys that are in our lives, like, how can I approach a girl in public? Because
in different settings and what's appropriate and just something that we appreciate.
How to do it. This is what one of my good friends said. How do I do this and not be creepy? Because he was telling me he had a crush on a girl at his gym, and he was like, how can I approach this girl without coming across like a total weirdo and a psychopath? So yes, fellas, we have compiled
the answers
a list for you that I have had some of my guy friends test some of these out, and so far we've had moderate success.
Which ones?
We'll go over it.
Oh man.
So basically, if a girl is not interested, you're not going to get anything out of her. And Emma and I were talking about this earlier today.
And if you can read people at all, you're going to know if she's interested at all.
If she makes extended eye contact with you, if she gives you a little smile, and this is not saying if a girl makes eye contact with you and smiles that she's interested, because sometimes we're just being polite. But as long as you go about it in a polite way, you can kind of open up the topic of conversation. But if a girl, here's some just flat out no's. If she has AirPods in her ears, she's not interested.
Yep, don't talk to her. Because then it's going to be the awkward scenario where we have to pull one out or stop our music or just something with our headphones or whatever just to tell you what.
I will
you have to repeat
put
yourself
my
again.
AirPods in, and I will have nothing playing. It'll just be dead silence in my ears if I'm not in the mood to talk or engage in human interaction. So first and foremost, if she's not made eye contact with you whatsoever, if she makes eye contact with you and then immediately looks away, if she has AirPods in her ears, if she has a wedding ring or a ring on her wedding finger.
If she has a black hoodie on with the hoodie up and her head down, blasting music, shaking around, don't talk to her.
Yes.
Don't talk to her at all.
If she's running.
She does not want to be approached by anybody.
If she's exercising, if she's walking by herself, maybe don't approach. But if you have that situation where you make eye contact, you get some sort of a smile, a pleasant something. Some girls will even say hi. I know one of the topics that came up recently when I was on the Tinder and the Hinge was a guy basically saying, oh, well, I bet a girl like you would never approach me in public. As a standard rule, I don't normally approach guys in public. Like, even a guy that I'm interested in, if I'm interested in him, I'll make extended eye contact.
Exactly. And that's the thing,
maybe
too,
do the
about
look up and down, smile.
And like when we talked about stepping into your feminine energy, too.
Yeah.
Kind of, and that kind of takes away from that too. It puts you in your masculine, feeling like you need to walk up to a guy, and
it's not our job to walk up.
It's not our job to get your attention. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I agree with that. I kind of, what I like for a guy to do at the bar, like, and this is gonna be in the bar scenario, like if a guy comes up to me or wants to talk to me, the best time to do that is when I'm getting a drink at the bar, because I can already purchase my own drink. I'm already getting my own drink myself. I have it in front of me.
So they don't need to walk up and ask you to buy a drink.
No, that's not the first thing you should tell me. Like, because I just feel like, and in my head, that's just like, oh, typical move to pull. Like, and I kind of go to the place where it's like, oh, you're just trying to get me drunk, or if you try to buy shots or something right off the bat, it's just unattractive to me, and also it's just been done too much to where it just doesn't stick out to me anymore. So if a guy honestly doesn't offer to buy me a drink right away and just wants to have conversation, I get very intrigued, and I actually want to have conversation with that guy. And
so fellas, listen
and
up.
It's just
you
not
don't
too
have
needy.
to buy
You know,
her
it's
drink
not too
first.
needy.
Yeah.
I don't need to fill your, like, your expectations don't need to be like met immediately. Like it's just flow. It's just
So
flow.
I don't mind if guys ask or offer to buy me a drink.
for
And
like the very first interaction.
I don't really mind getting approached at a bar if a guy walks up and we're kind of chatting while we're in line a little bit, and then he's like, hey, I'd love to buy you a drink. I will normally like allow guys to do that. And in my mind, the way it works for me is I kind of like, if I'm agreeing to let a guy buy me a drink, then I'm kind of obligated to talk to him
Exactly.
while I drink that drink.
And
So-
it gives us time too, because if we already bought our own drink, it gives us time to actually have a conversation. And
Yeah.
by the end of that conversation, where it's kind of like, okay, what are we gonna do now? Like, are we gonna hang out tonight, or are we
Yeah.
gonna go our ways? By the time that conversation ends, my drink will be gone, and then he can make that move to be like, hey, do you want me to get you another drink? Like,
Yeah.
can I get you another drink? And then it's like my sign, oh, he wants to hang out a little longer, and then
Yeah,
it
he
kind of
wants
like
to
goes from
continue
there.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and again, I don't mind it. But if I'm just flat out not interested in the guy,
Yeah.
that's usually where I'll decline. Hey, thank you so much. I'm super flattered. I'm good. I'm getting my
Yeah.
own drink. I'm here with my friends, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I
You can also feel that
typically-
out too, like before he asks. Then that's why
Yeah.
I like it too. You can
I
also feel the person
typically-
out, and then it'll give you an opportunity to be like, I'm good. Like, I'm just gonna hang out with my friends. Thank you so much for the conversation. It was nice.
Yeah. And if
Have
I'm
a good
not
night.
interested,
Yeah.
I typically go for a polite declination first before I have to resort to more
It also depends what time
impolite
of the night it
measures.
is, how busy it is, how drunk that person is. Because if you're gonna fall
Ooh.
into me trying to have a conversation with me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna immediately be like, get the fuck
Don't
off
try to
me,
pick
bitch.
me up when you're sloppy.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I
Don't
literally,
show
if
me
you
your
can't even
abs.
look me in the eye because your eyeballs are going every which way, like,
Goodness.
move along.
Goodness.
That's all I have to say about that.
Obviously in a bar, guys, you can walk up to a girl, you can start a conversation if that goes well. And I love the idea of like when you're in line. So if you can catch a girl while she's in line, you can kind of have that little bit of a conversation. You can kind of gauge the interest, and then you can say, hey, can I buy you a drink? And
I like
like I
that.
said, in my mind, I know girls that aren't like this. Like girls will go up and wait around at the bar for a guy to come up and ask to buy them drinks. Because I hear this in the bathroom at the bar all the time, where girls are like, I am not buying a single drink for myself tonight. Men are buying me drinks. And that's fine. Like, do your thing,
There's
girl.
some nights where that's okay. Like,
Do your thing, girl. So maybe it's just because I'm older, but again, like in my mind, if a guy buys me a drink, then I'm kind of obligated to talk to him for the extent it takes me to drink that drink. If the conversation's
Exactly.
not going well, I'm throwing that thing back. I'm saying thank you so much.
And especially in a drunk guy's mind, he's gonna feel like that you kind of owe him that time
Oh, we
too,
owe you
and we don't. But and this also happened to me yesterday. I was out for a girlfriend's birthday, and we went to a cigar bar to get a drink and just say hi to one of her friends. And this older guy was like talking to her, and they were just shooting the shit, whatever, no big deal. Then he looks over to me and he goes, "You should smile."
Ew.
And I was so livid. Like,
Do you
I
wanna know
immediately
my
saw
response
red.
when
I
men
was
say
like,
that to me?
huh? I was like, I saw red immediately, and then our friend was like, the guy friend was like, "Don't say that, dude." and
So-
I was immediately like, I'm not done. It gets worse.
Oh no.
So I was like, "Make me smile, bitch." That's what
That's a
I said
good
to
one.
him.
That's a
what I
good
said. I
one.
was like, "Say
Tell me
something
a
funny.
joke.
Tell me a joke. Make me smile." And
That's way
he
more
was like, "I
polite
think
than
you're
what I
just
say."
rude." He was like, "I just think you're being rude." And I was like, "I haven't said a motherfucking word to you this whole night. Like, actually, I
Jeez.
didn't even want to be here because I smell like smoke. I wanted to go to the next bar. Like, we were just here to say hi." And
If it looks like I'm not
he-
happy to be here, it's because I'm not happy to be here.
yeah, and then you know where he fucked up? Because my guy friend was like, "Just let it go, like it's fine." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, I'm chilling, but like if he's gonna keep talking to me, I'm gonna say something." And yeah, he was like, "Yeah, you just seem kind of rude, like you don't want anything to do with me." And I was like, "I don't know you.
Bad vibes.
You're like in your 50s. I don't know you, bro, and I
Oh.
have no interest." Yeah, no, still not done. I have no interest in talking to you right now. And then he goes, how did he say it? I want to say it the right way because it was really, really fucked up that I even got my guy friend kind of pissed off about it. But he was like, "Well, you should like act a certain way towards me, or like you should want," you know what I mean? Like it was almost like a respect thing. Like he was entitled to all women's. I don't know how to say it. And my guy friend was like, and I was like, "I should what?" Because he was like starting to talk. He was like, "Well, you should want to like be nice to me or something like that." And I was like, "I should what?" And then my guy friend was like, like we're fucking leaving. Like
That's
this is
the end of the
insane.
conversation.
Yeah, just
so
nuts.
I get that a lot because I have the resting bitch face pretty hard.
Me too.
So
and I think that's where I didn't go wrong, but I think
I'll
that's
have
where
men
he
say something along the lines of, "You'd be so much prettier with a smile on your face. Why the frown, sweetheart? You should smile." And I normally, my favorite one is the men that say, "You'd be really pretty if you smiled," or "You'd be so much prettier if you smiled." Because my response to that is typically, "You'd be so much prettier if you kept your opinions to yourself."
Yep.
That's like my go-to.
That's a good one.
I like the make me smile though.
Yeah, no,
For the guys that
literally,
are like, smile,
word
make
for
me.
word, I use this every single time it's engraved in my brain. Make me smile, bitch. Name of the podcast. Name of the episode.
Make me smile, bitch. So, that's awful. So, a few other situations, because one of my guy friends asked, he has a little gym crush. How can I approach a girl at my gym and not have it be creepy? And this one I have asked a couple of my guy friends, at least the ones that like will post or talk about their gym crush. Ask her for a spot at the gym.
I like that. And honestly, go that route with it. Ask her for a spot for you, but don't ask to spot her.
Oh, don't offer.
Don't offer to spot her, because
Never.
that makes us like, and the girls that are actually really into gym and fitness and going like, 3 to 4 times a week, that actually care about growth, they're going to think that, oh, you think I can't put this weight up. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So it's going to be kind of
I
like
had a guy actually approach me, like I was doing back squats, moderately lightweight, not struggling.
Yeah.
And he walked up to spot me and like put his hands on my
what?
hips. So I tried to break his foot by like, I just bailed on the barbell and let it fall. And he was like, "Oh, it seemed like you were trying to hit me." I was like, "I was. Don't ever touch a
What?
strange person."
He just walked up and
Just
like
walked up,
started. Was
put
it
his hands
shadow
on-
spotting? Like
No, he put his
touched
hands
you,
on my
dude?
hip. Put your hands up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. No,
Activate crazy eyes. I
that's
would
not
freak
how it worked out. So, yes, ask her for a spot. Most guys, like, you probably have your bench press down well enough. Don't ask her to spot you and then fail on your weight. So make sure whatever you're doing, you do
put the
well.
notches down just a little bit so that you can put that shit up and you
Maybe
can show her
hit
that
it
you
at
can
like
put that shit up.
75 to 80% of like your max weight. So you're not getting that red vein in your forehead. You're not looking.
You're not passing out.
You're not looking like a crazy person. Don't actually fail on that weight. Don't make her
Yeah.
help you. But that's usually a good way. And I've had guys approach me in the gym a few times asking me for a spot. I'm a bitch, and I'll usually go get one of the trainers that works at the gym because
Smart. So yeah, if you're not into him at all and you can tell you're not into
it
him,
gives
you
me
can
an
go that
easy
route.
out, or I'm like, spoiler alert, if you go to actually fail on that, you're gonna die. Yeah,
So that's kind of a question. Like, if we say no, we're an asshole, because how hard is it to just get?
well,
in
it's easy
with
enough to
someone
walk
else, you
up
know
to the
what
girl
I
and
mean?
be like, "Hey, do you have much longer left? Do you mind if I work in with you?"
I actually really like that because
Because then
we
she
get to
can
walk
say-
away. It doesn't feel like we're trapped in that conversation and that we have to say
always
yes. We get to
leave
walk
her
away
with
from
an
it.
out.
Yes, we get to walk away from that, and then we can actually like we'll think about that too. I'll be like, damn, he didn't really try like, to corner me in that or get, suck
But
me into that
the
conversation.
opportunity
So
for that is if the girl says yes. If she allows you to work in with her, if she says, "Yeah, sure, I'll spot you," that's when you kind of have the opportunity to like engage in conversation and you can further feel her out.
Yeah.
So if she says yes
don't
to one of
take
those,
that though,
yes.
because that's in that scenario. That's like, I'm trying to be nice too. Like
Yeah.
it could be just I'm just gonna be nice thing and like let you
Correct.
work in with me, but don't take that as a I got her. You know what I mean? Like
Correct. So
that's
it allows you to have that conversation. Now you can kind of approach with like, what's your name?
yeah.
what
Like
do
what
you-
kind of questions do you think that they should ask? Because I'm one of those people that you need to get to the point. Like especially when I'm at the gym, like don't say like, "Oh, where are you from? What's your name?" kind of thing. Like it's almost like you can say, "What do you have today?" Like what are you lifting today?
What are you working out
Yeah, what are
today?
you all working out today? Kind of stuff. Just like keep it gym related. Honestly, keep
Yeah.
it don't make it so like
Well,
weird.
if it's
You know what
if
I'm
it's your
saying?
gym
Like-
crush and it's someone that you see on a regular basis, that kind of opens the conversation.
It also depends how often you see them.
9 times out of 10, I always recommend for guys to like play it super cool the first meet or two. So if
Make
you
it
ask
so
her,
casual.
if you
So
ask her to
casual.
spot you, if you ask to work in, you can say, hi, what's your name? After that, maybe you can ask for her socials.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
and,
hey-
and you could say stuff like, hey, if you post any fitness stuff on Instagram, I would love to share it or like it, or like
If
you know
you see
stuff
the
like
girl
that. And that's the thing a guy can say to a girl.
if you see the girl that's taking pictures in the gym,
Offer to take it for her.
Maybe-
I love that, but on her phone. But
can I take pictures of you on my phone?
I'm gonna use my phone. My camera's so much better.
Well, I mean, if he's got a better camera, I've seen you. You can ask for the socials.
Yes.
I actually really,
I love starting with Instagram or Snapchat because it's not so like.
I would recommend starting with
Embrace it.
Instagram rather than Snapchat, because Snapchat is another one of those. So
We're growing out of that shit.
back in the day, the very first time I ever had an online dating account, I gave a guy my Snapchat, and the very first thing he sent me was a picture of his penis.
Yuck.
So,
Jail.
yeah, that we're gonna talk about this later, but I'm a little more hesitant to send, like, to give out my Snapchat. Again, you can unfriend someone. I'm not gonna give a guy my number unless I know
Yes.
them well. But the Instagram is an easy enough one, especially if you see her taking pictures or something. You'd be like, hey, what's your Instagram? Can I give you a follow? And then
Right.
you can drop into the DMs and just say, hey, you know, I'd love to hit a workout with you one day. That's a good one. If you see her
Yep.
at the gym, hey, can we grab a smoothie sometime?
Yeah, like let's go grab. Cause
Can we get coffee?
Yeah, and there's probably some protein shake places around where y'all live that you can go and get a post-workout protein shake.
Yeah.
I really like that
it's
too
a great
because
way.
then you can kind of.
It's super low pressure, low stress.
Yes, and again, she can leave whenever the fuck she wants because you're just going there to get a smoothie
Exactly.
and dipping. You're not sitting down having dinner at this point.
So I prefer being able to add someone on Snapchat, because for me, I can delete, block, and remove them off
That
of
is also
Snapchat. I don't
true.
have to block them from my phone number.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like past that anxiety of it because, you know, being a real estate agent, my phone number is out there anywhere anyway. So I get a bunch of creepy ass
Also
texts
same with
anyway.
my phone number.
Yeah, so it's just like I'll take that
So
risk. But
guys, and then so we've got our kind of yes and no here. The one-liner, the joke, if you do get the social media, you can send a dad joke, you can ask a riddle, you can do something kind of funny, kind of cheeky.
I like when a guy kind of makes fun of me a little bit. Like if you take like one of my pictures, so let's say I give you my Instagram, right? And I got my pictures on my profile, and you send me one of my pictures, just like making fun of me a little bit. Like, I don't even know what an example would be, but
I've had a
I just think
guy
that's so goddamn funny.
I've had a guy like
someone that
make
has
fun
humor.
of me for something that I was doing at the gym at one point in time.
I don't know about that.
I don't appreciate that
I
so
don't
much.
appreciate that at all, actually.
So he said
Don't do
something
that.
about like the lightweight, and he was like, I see the way you look. I think you were taking it easy on yourself today. Like maybe.
Or they say something about your form. Oh my god. I don't like being corrected on my form. Especially if you're in the gym wearing jeans or something, or you're just
if we're on a date, and I love doing a little workout date. I don't know how you feel about that, but like,
So I hate when anybody works out with me. I like to, and you can probably tell because we've been going to the gym together for the last few weeks.
and it was like, leave me alone.
honestly,
don't
you
talk
you
to me.
see, I have both my headphones in, and I'm just like in it. Like I'm trying to like get this done, and then we can chill and hang. But like my
Yeah.
gym, it's almost like a job, like a second job to me. Like at the
Well-
gym, like I'm head in, focused. Like I'm not fucking around.
So I like the workout date because I can, I like the look of the flexing muscles, especially if we do like an upper body,
I
like
don't
a
mind that for
bicep,
like a
tricep
third
day.
or fourth date. Just
Oh.
not the first date.
No, not the
Yeah,
first
definitely
date.
not the first
I
date.
definitely think like coffee, smoothie, something super casual for the first date.
Right.
And if it's your gym crush and you see them often, you could absolutely, like, as you get the Instagram, if you get the social media, if you get something, be like, hey, if you're working out tomorrow, do you want to grab a smoothie after?
Yeah.
That's a
No,
great
good.
one.
How's a good way, and maybe this is off topic a little bit, but what's a good way to like turn down a gym request? Because I get a lot of guys in my DMs that are like, hey, I see you lift, we should go lift one day, like we should get a lift in together. And I just want to be and I say no to every single one because me going to the gym, like that's my time.
Okay, but are you actually interested in any of those dudes?
Yes.
Offer an alternative.
Okay. Right
So
here.
it would be easy enough to say, you know, I mean, you seem super nice. I'm definitely down to hang out. Maybe not a workout date, but can we grab a smoothie? Can we grab coffee? Can we
Yeah.
grab lunch? Can we
Okay.
grab a drink? Like,
And I always
would offer
find
an
myself, I always find myself at a loss. Like whenever a guy asks me, I'm like, I appreciate that you appreciate that I work out and that you can see that and it's a compliment to me, but also, no, though. Like, also, no, I'm sorry,
no thanks.
but I don't even like to work out. Like, and I just say this thing, like, I literally just don't work
You
out.
don't
It's
even
not
like
you.
working out with me, and I'm your bestie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that
I hate my laugh. Can we do an obnoxious laugh off?
Oh, dude.
One of our best friends has the best way of picking up a strange girl, and I've seen him do this multiple times, and I've seen it work almost every time.
Yeah.
And he'll literally just walk up and say, "Hi, we should be friends."
we should be friends.
And it's
I like
a good
it.
one because if the girl, if she has a boyfriend, she can always respond and be like, "Oh my gosh, thanks. I have a boyfriend. You can back off."
And then that's where he can also take that opportunity to be like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. I think we should actually be friends. So
Yeah.
also it takes away from the guy's ego too.
Yeah.
It won't hurt the guy's ego a bit. And also it doesn't put her in a corner.
Correct.
Again,
It
it gives
gives
her
her
an out and an option to be like, do I want to take that further or do I want to
But
back out? Like, or
typically,
what does he mean? It
What I
keeps him
mean
on
by
his toes.
success rate is he will almost always get more of a conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Hi, we should be friends. And there's usually like a, hey, I like your shoes. We should be friends. Or
Yeah.
something that's like a little bit of a compliment, and you can
It's all
open up the
about-
conversation.
Yeah. It's all about not being too forward.
Yeah.
Um,
The casual. We
very,
love
very
a casual approach.
because you know that it's not that serious. Like, you just met this person. Don't act like you need to win them over with some cheesy pickup line or something that
No.
you used on the past like 20, 30 women. Like,
Correct.
or something that you found on fucking Instagram or something, just or Pinterest or something.
Although I do
stupid.
love a good dad joke, not a
I
bad
love
one.
the dad jokes.
So, just to recap some of our little dating tips for our dating tips of the week for approaching a girl in public: do ask for a spot at the gym.
One-liners are very important. The let's be friends. That's also
Love
that's
that. Do buy her a drink after you have an initial conversation, and do drop a sly, cute little "we should be friends."
Great. Yeah.
Do not offer to spot her at the gym.
Yeah, don't have a cold open. Like, just be very organic. And I mean, depending on the girl, and obviously, I would probably lead with the buy her a drink. I'm just very different in that way. Like, I feel like most girls respond well to saying, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" right off the bat. But just for me personally, it's just kind of like, I'm just a guarded person the way it is. So it like lubes me up a little bit to have
So
a
don't have a
conversation
cold
first.
open. Don't do the
Yeah.
high. Oh, do
Yeah,
not
catch my attention with something.
ever use
Yeah.
a pet name on a girl
Dude,
that you are not
don't.
in an exclusive relationship
When
with.
I tell you, every other day I get a message on Hinge like, "Hey, babe.
Hi, babe.
Hey, sweetheart."
Ew.
Creepy, dude.
Hi, honey.
You don't know me like that.
That
Oh,
vomit.
Yeah,
do
it makes me
not,
gag.
do not. Don't ask her to buy you a drink. Ew.
That happened to you this weekend, didn't it?
It did.
Wait, can you tell that a little bit? Like, what
I'm
actually?
not
I don't know if I was there
going
for that.
to.
Are you sure?
It was the pirate dude.
I was
Yeah.
standing there while we were taking the shots.
We were
Dude, I was so
taking
done
a
with that
shot,
guy.
and he was like, "Where's mine?" I was like, "If you want a shot, you can
Where's
buy one for yourself."
mine?
I am not
It's almost like that's almost
interested
like
in you even remotely.
Yeah.
I'm allowing you to stand in my personal space, and I was being. This is one of the issues.
he's the "where's my hug" guy.
I was being polite. I was just not trying to be an asshole.
I would act
this
like I didn't
night
hear him.
at first. So I was like, if you want a shot, you can buy yourself a shot. And then the final, do not. I'll let you.
Yeah, don't leave notes on cars.
Gross.
Don't be anonymous.
Gross.
Because honestly,
Don't
like
tell her
9
she
times
should
out of 10,
smile.
yeah, don't tell her she needs to fucking smile, because that will make me see red and go crazy.
Can we talk about the fact that there are so many songs from the 80s that are just super creepy?
So creepy.
Because it was
Dude, David Bowie has a ton of them.
it was the one way or another.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna find you.
I'm
gonna get you,
dude.
get you. Yeah, and there's like, I'll drive past your house, and if the lights are all out, I'll see you in town. Yeah, super creepy.
So creepy.
The police have some weird ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the
Lots
police, though.
of, I mean, some of those are fun.
They sing the Bad Boys, right?
Yeah.
Bad Boys. What
you want? What you want? What you gonna do? The cop song. Love that.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we really wanted to talk about this week for our toxic topic is the concept of waiting to respond or waiting to reply to a girl.
Girl, that's silly. Don't do that.
I'm always for guys playing it cool.
Mm-hmm.
You like, don't be too eager early on. Don't get your hopes up. Don't be too eager, because there's a lot of pressure in that situation. Like, if you
what to talk about, how to start those conversations, where to go, because you just met that person.
But I hate the whole concept of the guys that are like, oh, I can't open her message for an hour because I don't want to seem too eager.
I like, feel like that's a girl thing.
If y'all, no, I know guys. I have guy friends that have straight up like gotten a snap or something from a girl and been like, oh,
they'll leave it undelivered for like 24 hours.
Open it. Yeah, I can't open it for an hour because I don't want her to think I'm waiting around to get her message. Like,
we don't care about that. We actually
if y'all are having a good conversation, I don't think there's a problem with like decently fast responses. But I do think it's good to like leave the conversation in a good place, maybe for a little while. But the whole like waiting to respond thing, I love when a guy is excited to talk to me.
Me too. That's actually what I was trying to get at. That's the biggest turn on for me. Honestly, if you, and maybe just when in doubt, just reply when you freaking see it. Like, don't ever think about putting it on hold or anything, because, you know, we got short attention spans too. We're going to move on to the next. Like, if we think that you're not interested in talking to us,
oh, absolutely.
Like, we have options too, dude. You know what I mean? So
I have options.
Yeah, always.
So one of the things that we were thinking of is, one of the things I love is the guy that tells me, like, if we've had a date or we've hung out or anything, let me know when you make it home.
Yes. Or they just shoot you a text within the hour and just say, I had a great time. When can I see you next? Or I had a great time. Hope you sleep well. You know, just end it on like a really sweet message. Don't not say anything to her, because women, and this is a tip for the women, don't text him first after a date.
Oh, I don't.
Nope. Do not text a guy first after you just go on a first date, or even the third or fifth date. Like, don't text him first.
But
like,
I will say, when the guy texts me,
let him pursue you, because men love to be the pursuer.
When guys text me quickly, not like immediately after I leave, like, give it 15, 20, 30 minutes. Like, maybe
let
give
us
it
think a
enough
little
time.
bit about it, how it went, and kind of like maybe get, I mean, I kind of like to get a little anxious, like, afterwards. I'm like, does he like me? Was it good for him?
Is he gonna message me?
So give us a good half hour,
that,
I think. That's a sweet spot.
Hanging on the precipice is great, but then
and then we'll get that text and we'll be like, okay, it was good, and then we'll be bouncing off the walls.
And that's like the biggest like serotonin boost, right?
It's a confidence boost for us. It's good for y'all, because you can kind of step back for a minute and think about how it went for you too. You know, like, it doesn't always have to be.
Had a great time with you tonight.
Yeah.
Loved the outfit you were wearing. I love when
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love when and I'm getting all excited because I love
tonight.
this.
So one of the things I don't like, though, and I'll be honest about this, is early on, like probably before I've agreed to be exclusive with someone, the good morning beautiful, good night beautiful text messages. When I'm dating someone, I love those. But that's one of those that you need to use at a good time. So I would say
interesting too, because I've never really thought of that. But I really like the good morning text. And you can go about it this way too, guys. If you like literally just can't help yourself and just need to text this girl in the morning, just say like, hey beautiful, hope you have a great day. You know, check in with me later or something. You don't have to make it pressured for her to respond to you and to keep the conversation going. So I think that's a great way to, and it's not just like a good morning beautiful, and then she's got to think about like, how am I going to entertain this dude for the rest of the day? You know, it kind of closes that door, let her open it if she wants to. And
you can always slide in with a good morning. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to have a busy day at work.
Yeah. And actually like make it look like you're freaking busy, dude.
Yeah.
It's not, and same with the women, like don't text a guy good morning first. In my opinion, don't do it.
So, I mean, I'll do that if it's someone that I'm dating or like I've been talking to for a while.
With you, dating like a couple months, few months.
So the advice we're giving right now is specifically like when you're in that quote unquote talking stage. So, I mean, you can slip a good morning beautiful, like, hope you have a great day. Gonna be super busy today, but I'll talk to you this evening.
I'll check in with you later. I'll check in with you on my lunch, or
hope you have a great day.
You want to meet for our lunch, like, you know, if you both work a 9 to 5 and you get off at like a noon, be like, hey, do you want to meet for lunch or meet for whatever?
So
and you can make it just so casual.
This is one of those things that maybe is a toxic topic for me, but I drastically prefer in the talking stage for a guy to give me like 2 to 3 days notice of a date. And I will intentionally, like, I could not have plans on a Friday night, and if you text me on a Friday morning asking me to hang out with you on a Friday night, I'm gonna tell you no.
It's still a no. Like, I'll find other plans.
I will stay at home
even if I don't have
with
plans,
my dog. I will, So, guys, if you're wanting to ask a girl out for the weekend, do it by, like, Tuesday or Wednesday. Like, hey, do you have plans this weekend? I'd love to get to see you.
When a guy does that.
Yeah.
Because it knows that you're thinking of our, like, time. And you're making our time a priority.
Absolutely.
And something that's important to you. And the fact that you think about that, it's really attractive.
I love a when can I see you again after a date. Like,
it doesn't hurt to make it our idea sometimes, too.
Yeah.
Like that.
When can I see you again? Then the girl can say, oh, you know, I'm free on Friday.
Yeah. Or you can, I mean, if she's not interested, it'll be very obvious in her response then.
Yeah.
But
which we love a man who leaves us an out. So that's kind of our, like, little toxic topic of the day is, guys, don't be afraid.
But not so toxic, you know?
Don't be afraid to be excited to talk to a girl.
Yeah.
Because we like that. And if your personality type is just naturally, like, if you found a girl that you're crazy about, play it cool. Don't send her 15 text messages. Don't be pissy if she doesn't respond quickly. Don't be clingy.
Like, if you get pissy when I don't reply, or let's say I open a Snapchat and don't reply in like the first 5 minutes, and you're like, okay, never mind then. Like, I get those.
Oh, the passive aggressive. Good talk.
The passive aggressiveness, and I'm like,
good talk.
Ew, you sound like a woman. Like, you sound like a girl right now. Being like, never mind then, I guess. You know, text me back. I'm like, dude. Immediately done.
Just be confident in yourself and
be so confident. And be confident that you also, like, you don't need to make us a priority in your every day to day. Like, I think that showing us that you have other shit to do is also very attractive. Like, if you have a career, you have other priorities, like you got to go to your mom, help your mom out with something, and you just can't hang out with us, like, that's really attractive. And honestly, like, and that spins back to the making plans in advance too.
Oh, one of the other good things that they could do is to give, like, hey, I'd love to see you again. I have Wednesday and Saturday free this week.
Yeah, that's
and
perfect.
that allows the girl to say, oh, that if she's not interested, you will most likely get that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
If she is interested, and girls, if the guy does that and it doesn't work, always offer an alternative. If I'm interested in a guy and I have plans Wednesday and Saturday, I'm not going to, especially in the talking stage, I am not going to cancel plans I have with friends or family.
No, absolutely not.
And I can't even say in the talking stage, I'm not going to cancel plans I have with friends or family for anyone that's a man.
Yeah.
Like, because at the end of the day, I have been in very toxic relationships that have isolated me from my friends and family, where the guy got mad if I was hanging out with other people.
Ew.
And your friends and family are the ones, and this is a big mistake I see girls make. Your friends and family are the ones that are going to be there if that relationship doesn't work out.
That's your foundation. Yeah, that's like your literal foundation.
Don't isolate them. But if I have plans, and the guy and I have gone on dates, that's an opportunity for me to say, hey, I actually have plans with my friends on Saturday. Would you want to join us?
And that also shows that you take that very seriously. You take your friendships very seriously. You take your family very seriously. So showing him that you have obligations to them is actually really attractive to men too, because you're not always available.
Absolutely.
Also, for one, and two, you care about your friends and your family, and you want to prioritize them over him.
And
which is important.
there's something I read recently that was kind of pointed toward the girls, and it was, don't play hard to get, be hard to get.
I like that.
So I'm not like a fan of like playing games and stuff in relationships. I like to be my most authentic, damaged, crazy, whatever self right from the get-go, because I want guys to know what they're getting themselves into.
Exactly. And you want to feel, again, you want to sit in your feminine and feel like that you can be
I'm not going to let the full crazy show in the first couple of weeks, but I am very much
and you want to find the one that's cool with dealing with that, because that's your true authentic self.
Yeah.
And someone that can match that.
Correct.
So much fun.
Can you match my energy? Yeah, and I also, especially like not even early on, this is just in general in dating, I love guys who plan dates.
Yeah. That's very important, especially in the beginning. It's
Yeah.
very important for the guy to plan everything because, again, psychologically in biology, men love to be the pursuers.
Yeah.
So if you let him pursue, he'll find you 10 times more attractive. But if women become the pursuer, that's where the dynamic switches. And
I
that's
feel
where you
like
kind of
guys
get in your
almost look at
masculine
that
too
in a
much.
situation of like, what's wrong with her?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Why are you chasing me so hard?
Yeah. It's just not fun for them because,
I mean,
naturally in the wild, the
I've
male
seen it
always
both
chases the
sides. When
female.
I'm in relationships where I'm like really crazy about a guy and I'm like chasing them down, those are usually the guys that are like, no.
And then you end up not being yourself too.
Yeah,
Because then you feel
'cause
like you need to
that's not
act a
me.
certain way so
Correct.
that they start to pursue you.
That's one of the
but
great
you
things
just gotta-
about
yeah.
like aging, getting older,
Yeah.
wiser. When I was in my earlier 20s, like I would chase guys, I would put myself in situations that just felt so inauthentic to me. And now that I am very firmly implanted in who I am as a person, I feel so much more confident to, and I think I mentioned this last week, I'm a princess. I
Yeah,
very
you are.
much so embrace that about myself. And ladies out there, what I have found are men don't really hate that so much.
No, they love that. I think they do love that because
They like feeling
again,
useful.
you're showing that you see your worth.
Yes.
And that forces them to kind of be like, okay, what's this girl about? Why does she think she's a princess?
Don't act like a high value female. Be
Be
a
it,
high
embody
value
it.
female.
Yeah, honestly.
Embrace the fact that you have a lot to bring to the table, but also have a lot to bring to the table.
And you gotta know that you bring a lot to the table too.
Yeah.
Like it's not a pretending kind of thing. Like
Correct.
you do have a lot to bring to the table, and you need to know that in yourself too. Because otherwise, I feel like that creates some anxious attachment styles too.
Yes.
When you don't know that, and then that's where you start to chase, and the man starts to like run away because now you're not getting that, anxiety. What's a good word for it? Your ego's not being fed in a way
Yes.
to where you feel comfortable in that relationship. So just
One of
you gotta know, girl.
One of
that
the big things that I've embraced, especially just like the past couple of years, is like what's meant for me will come to me. I don't chase, I attract.
That's been a huge thing, like spirituality, that I've kind of
Yeah.
been digging deep in the past year, and that's honestly, it helps you so much in life that you don't even realize, and that's another topic for another day. But I agreed, and all of this ultimately helps you sit in your feminine, and
Yes.
it attracts the masculine man that you want.
And that's not to say, women, that if you lead with a more masculine approach, or that's who you feel to be your most authentic
I
self,
feel like aggressive and masculine are two different things too.
assertive and aggressive are two different things, I feel like.
Yeah.
So really be your most authentic self, whoever that is. Emma and I are both in places in our lives where we want to embrace our most feminine selves, because the types of men that we're trying to attract are, the masculine presenting. Those are men that are very firmly established in who they are, where they are. They're confident, they're
fulfilled.
self-assured, they're fulfilled. They don't need me in their life, they want me. That's the big thing.
And that creates that passion. dude.
Yes.
That creates that, like,
I don't
fiery,
want that
fun.
clingy man that, like,
Yeah.
I need you to survive. I want the man that says, hey, I'm fine without you. I love having you in my life.
and that's how we should be too with him.
Yes.
And you need to, and also, if this kind of helps too, because I had struggled with an anxious attachment style for years, and it's just taken me till recently to kind of get out of that. But a way to kind of help you get over that is that he's an accessory to your life. He's not your
Yes.
whole life. And that's super, super, super important, because I know you're going to think about him every single day. I know you're going to want to talk to him every single day. But maybe instead of hanging out, and this is just like a precaution you can kind of take so that doesn't happen, before you guys start to get serious and everything, just don't prioritize him too much. Like you see
have your
him
own life.
once or two times a week max in the beginning, I think. And then
Ooh,
make
yeah.
the other days for like friends, family. You can slowly bring him into your life while also making sure you're prioritizing other people. Like your
I think
friends and
that's
family, 'cause
super
that-
helpful because
Yeah.
it will allow you, one, it will avoid the love bombing,
Yes. Absolutely.
which is a toxic thing. So I agree with you. Typically when I first start talking to someone, I like to do the 1 to 2 times a week max hangouts. Once you're like firmly in a relationship, I don't think there's any issue with spending more time together.
Right. Because then you're integrated. He'll be kind of integrated into the friend group, and then you can kind of. There's nothing wrong with bringing him around friends.
But that usually for me happens a few months in. That's not like a few weeks in. That's like months in.
No. Yeah.
But it also will allow you a safe space to not get so invested in that relationship that when you start to see those red flags, you're too far in to get out. So that's why I think it's really important to kind of let everyone put their best self forward first, but leave plenty of time to really get to know the person. Because one, I'm a big advocate for not wasting mine or anyone else's time.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a place where with a person, I'm like, we're not going to be a good match, I'll go ahead and back out of that pretty early on. And I prefer to be able to back out of that early on. If I'm spending every single day with that person and I'm getting love bombed and I'm just, now we're living together practically, like it's way harder to remove yourself from that. So I like to stay very firmly implanted in who I am.
Yes.
What I'm doing.
And do a lot of stuff too. And like to go back to what I was saying earlier, when you kind of make time for other people, your friends and family, and only see them once or twice a week, also make sure you're making that time for yourself. Like take 1 or 2 days a week, go meditate, go and do this stuff by yourself, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because a big part of the anxious attachment style that I was like trying to get away from was that I didn't want to ever be alone. And that manifested itself in a partner. Like I always needed to be in a relationship or with my partner because I felt like I was alone otherwise. And I live alone. So what I started to do was to kind of like, once I start to overthink all those things and like just hate being alone because you get stuck in your head when you live at home alone. And I'll just go right to meditating, slow my brain down, shut that off to kind of help my anxious thing. Like I need to go hang out with somebody. I need to be around people. Or I'll just go to the beach by myself. If you need to be around people, put yourself in a public setting. Like go to a restaurant, go eat by yourself, or go to the beach by yourself or something.
I'm just
like,
such a big fan of like self-care.
Yeah.
So usually my nights alone are the nights that I'll do like a face mask. I'll watch a podcast. I'll watch a serial killer documentary.
Yep.
Shout out to the new Dahmer show on Netflix. It's really good. I love having hours within my night where I check out on my phone.
Yes.
So I'll put my phone down for
too.
a little while because again, with that like anxious attachment style for girls that you struggle to not be communicating with people constantly, I think it's so important, like you said, to really embrace spending time alone. Learn to love being in your own company.
Yes.
Because that's
it's honestly
something
so peaceful because you are your home, dude. Like if you, whenever there's some situations where like I just want to go home, I want to be by myself, and like I'll go home and it's literally just like you get cuddled up in bed and you're like, oh, it's just me, and it's so nice.
Well, and I have a dog, so it's never just me, but I highly value the nights that I have just me and Stella where we watch movies.
Just recharge.
I'll do a puzzle, coloring book.
Yeah.
I have so many different hobbies and things that I enjoy. Like definitely find a hobby and things that you enjoy doing by yourself, and then take like a night a week to do that just by yourself.
Yep.
Make a night for friends, make a night for family, make a night for your significant other and dating if that's what you want to do, and then make nights for yourself.
Absolutely.
Love it.
I think that goes into our next topic then, right? Our sexy self-care topic for the week?
Sexy self-care topic. So
you're the best at this. I'll let you take it.
So we love a little sexy self-care moment. And again, this week, we're going to talk about, drum roll please, sexting.
Woohoo.
So we're just gonna go ahead and start on men, how to send an unsolicited dick pic.
Ready?
Don't ever
please don't
ever
unless she asks for it,
a picture
but she never will.
Okay, first and foremost, don't ever send a picture of your penis.
We don't want a picture.
However,
what do we want?
Now we can talk about what we do want. So we talked on this last week.
A little bit, yeah.
Foreplay
starts before the bedroom.
Correct.
Everyone write that down, hang it on your mirror so you can see it every morning on a sticky note.
For our guys out
starts
there,
before the bedroom.
I feel like this is really hard for guys to understand because
It is, because they think with their dick immediately.
Well, it's hormones. It's all in how
Right,
our brains
it's
are
pheromones,
wired.
and there's nothing wrong
right?
with it, but you need to learn how to control
'Cause I
it and
joke
kind of
ar-
use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I
'Cause
joke
there are
around with my
ways-
guy friends, like wind could blow them the right way and they're aroused and they
Yeah.
can have sex.
Yeah.
And that's not all the time. But I feel like as a general standpoint, men can just have like physical sex. And that's not to say that there aren't
Right.
women out there or times of the month where women get aroused and we're very
Yes.
easy
and I
for
think,
that kind
I
of
also
stuff.
think that's why, because this has been the age-old topic, right? Of men can have sex without the emotional attachment to
Yes.
it. And this is where men, we can help you understand that. We get emotionally attached because foreplay starts before the bedroom. Because everything's so
Yes.
mental, and it's kind of like a fantasy in our own head. Before we get to the
Yes.
bedroom, we start to build this fantasy with you. How's this going to be? Is this going to be fun? Like, oh, I wonder what he looks like. I wonder how, what it
So,
looks like how big it
exactly.
is.
So
So we build this mental thing anyway that builds that kind of like fun, anxious, not
Excitement.
anxious almost, but it's like that adrenaline that gets us really excited for the bedroom.
Yes.
Now, again, you guys can have sex basically whenever you want, no matter what,
Well, and girls can too.
emotional state that you feel with this
I
person.
definitely know girls that
Yeah.
can do the like random casual hookups and they're okay with it.
I could, yeah,
I can't.
no.
No.
So,
I haven't.
and it's crazy, and I say that I probably could, but I'm thinking of the scenarios in which like that would happen, and I'm like, no, like I literally, and I mean, just really quick, every person that I have slept with, I've known for a while. Like there was never, I've never done the whole one night stand, because what's the fantasy? Like, what's the fun and the mental stimulation
fun
for us?
that. Yeah.
There's no mental stimulation for us on that end, or me at least.
Well,
So-
and I know like at least so the other side of that is most men can orgasm relatively easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I know guys who could stick
Well,
it between
also-
couch cushions and get off.
Yes, but also I feel like we have more fun in that way because we have multiple different ways in which we orgasm.
Yeah.
Because we
well,
can orgasm, like the G spot, the fun little clitoris,
Nipples?
and nipples.
nipples.
What?
Yeah, I was watching or listening to a podcast where the girl was talking
That's
about
some
she had
magic.
an
That's some witch
orgasm
shit
from
right
like
there.
playing with her nipples. So yes, that's to say that. So men, we're gonna help you a little bit, and women too, because sometimes this can be kind of like a scary, intimidating topic. So I was talking to
Yeah,
Emma
like
today.
an awkward topic. Yeah.
It can be kind of weird. So typically when I'm in a relationship with someone, when we're getting to, and I don't have sex outside of relationships, that is kind of a general rule that I have.
I like that. Exclusivity.
Exclusivity is
Yeah.
very important to me
Oh,
because
shit.
I don't want my partners to be playing with other people too.
Yeah.
And that's like a personal health and
It's not the playground,
safety
baby.
preference that I have. So again, men, foreplay starts before the bedroom. One of my favorite things is talking about sex and preferences before it happens. I might send a little slightly scandalous snap, and that's not necessarily
Now, is it a snap
Nude.
just for them, or is it like a mass snap?
No, it's
Okay.
a snap for that person.
Not a roster snap. Okay.
No. So it's a like I might ask a guy what his favorite color is, and then maybe I will have on like a little something
Like
sexy
a set that has
that has their
color?
favorite color, and they might get
Take notes.
hold on. They might get a snap where they can see part of the bra strap. Or like it's not going if we've not had
It's gonna be subtle.
if we've not had
Yeah.
sex, if I've not slept with the person, if we're not sleeping together, I'm not sending a nude, I'm not sending an underwear shot. But I may send something kind of sexy to maybe start the conversation, or sometimes I'll just start the conversation. I love having conversations before sex about what I like and don't like, and I like to ask what my partner likes and doesn't
That's
like.
so important, and that's kind of it is an awkward conversation to have, I feel.
It can
but it
be.
doesn't have to be.
But it can be
Yeah.
such an arousing conversation. So obviously don't do this while the person's at the grocery store, while they're at work, while they're doing something. Like,
Dude,
have
that
it be...
would even be more hot, though. That'd be hotter. If you kind of did it in situations. That's why some girls, like, will send nudes to their husbands while they're at work.
Oh, I love that.
Aw, dude, just to tease the hell out of them.
I do that
and
all-
that gets us off, too, because
I
they're
will
just
do
like,
that if I'm in a
we know what you're going to be
relationship.
like when you get home.
I mean, I will do that if I'm in a relationship. If I'm seeing
Yes,
the person, if we're
definitely
sleeping
in a
together, I will
relationship, but-
absolutely send the lingerie shot. If we have a date that night, they may see that morning what I'm wearing for the date that night, which is super fun for me.
Yeah.
So again, there's the whole like talk dirty to me, but talk dirty to me before sex.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun for the guy. It also will allow you, because most men can orgasm quickly. Most women, it's more difficult. And every girl is different. So
different.
if you talk to 2 girls, 5 girls, 10 girls, they're all probably going to have different answers for what gets them off and what makes them orgasm.
That's why
girls-
it's so important to have that conversation.
I think it's important to know your body and to know what feels good to you, what doesn't, because then you can ask for
explore
it.
different things, because
And
honestly,
don't
it's
be
not
afraid
it's
to
not
ask for it.
shameful. Yeah.
I mean, girls fake orgasms so often, and I think it's because they just aren't comfortable
Telling the
asking
guy.
or telling
Yeah.
what they want.
And guys, don't be afraid to just be like, sexily, just say like, what do you like? Like, what do you want me to do? Kind of thing, and just be like soft with it, open, and like, it's kind of a safe spot for me. Like, if a guy were to ask me,
Open, honest communication.
yeah, and just be open about it. Just be direct, honestly. But you can say it in such a sexy way, like just say, what do you like? Like, what do you want me to do? Because that also like in the bedroom, like that would turn me on. Just to be
Yeah.
like, okay, now he wants to know what I want,
Yeah.
and he doesn't look scared to do anything that he wants. So it's like, okay, let me
Yeah,
tell you what I
so-
want.
And a great thing, if the guy is open and comfortable and confident in himself, he doesn't mind asking those questions.
Right.
And guys, don't think that because your last girlfriend, the last person you're
Like
with,
this,
they
this,
like
and
certain
that.
things, that doesn't necessarily mean the next girl is going to love those things.
Yeah.
So I love having people that ask questions. I mean, as you get into things more, you can be more exciting, but I'm a big fan of like doing the slight teasing, the fun stuff before you get to the bedroom, because if you can kind of get that arousal going for the entire day.
That's where the fantasy starts to kick in a little bit, and that's where the mental stimulation, and it's actually super fun to watch a man go through that, because we're normally the ones that go through that mental thinking, stimulation. The foreplay before the bedroom is really important for women.
Yeah.
To watch a man go through that too, and just to watch him be like painfully like, oh, like we have to get home, like all that stuff when you're out in public or out in whatever, dinner, or just like touch his leg at dinner or something, just like something fun. It's really fun to watch him struggle. because you already know it's gonna be a good time when you get back. So
Yeah.
and it's very lighthearted at that
Well,
point
and
too,
for
because then he
girls,
knows what you want. Like he knows that you want to take that next step too.
Well, and so here are some things. Even if you're in a relationship, even if you've been in a relationship, I have a girlfriend of mine who has been in a relationship for years, and she has never truly gotten off with her partner. She fakes it.
For years?
Every single time.
That's gotta be so miserable.
And it, like when we were having the conversation,
I would be so fed up.
oh my gosh. Well, it was sad to me, because I know there are a lot of girls that do that. I mean, I definitely have.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a way.
I
mean, we've all been there, but that's why I think it's so important to embrace like what you like. Like, I know there are some girls who probably can't get off without having a toy or something in the bedroom.
Right.
There are some guys who don't
feel weird about it, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who say, no, why don't we just be the two of us?
And
if you're,
I think that's an ego talking, because the
Yeah.
guy wants to be able to get you off without that. But guys, like, if you embrace that we want to use toys, that is very, very attractive.
Yeah,
and that
absolutely.
will get us even more excited.
well, and for ladies, I think it's important to remember, and we talked about this last week, men like to be useful. Men like to feel useful.
Yeah.
So I think
You can make it his idea, too,
Your
if you really
man
want to.
obviously wants to get you off, right? Like, as a guy,
And if he doesn't,
throw him away.
yeah, next. Anyway.
He belongs in the trash can. No, but most guys want to get you off. So I think if you have that healthy conversation and this sexual confidence to say, hey, so this is the only way that I typically get off. Now as a man, or for the girl, your guy can be like, oh, if you can only get off by having a toy in the bedroom, like obviously they want to get you off.
Yeah.
If they aren't comfortable with that, then they have an issue with themselves.
That's an internal thing. That's all that.
That's probably one that you should just throw away.
Yeah. So guys, also, if you're going to take anything from this, just know that like we like,
well, just because a girl needs to have a toy, she needs to have a certain
stimulation. It doesn't take anything away from what you're doing. Like, honestly, it's almost like, for me, I only ask, and like from my right, from my experience, that means I want to take that next step into my world. I want to show you kind of my world and like what I like. So it's almost like you should feel flattered that a woman wants to bring a toy in with you, because that doesn't mean that you're doing it. She feels comfortable enough. She feels comfortable enough. She also just wants. I mean, it's fun for everybody. It's really not something to like let your ego kind of fall apart over. Yeah. So sex should not be an ego thing. It should just be never. Just a pleasure thing. Just a respect and pleasure, and just fun. Nice connecting of two people. That's also why I personally never do the hookup thing, because I want to feel comfortable enough with the person I'm with that I can ask for, like if I want to use a toy for what I like, and I can be comfortable saying these are things that I'm not really a big fan of, and I can have the conversation before, these are things you should never do. I am a freak. Most people that know me, I had major issues with my ears as a child. I do not like men getting anywhere near my ears. Just for me, it's an internal cringe and like almost like a gag. You have something like about response. That. But so for me, if he goes to like whisper something sexy in my ear, I throw up in my mouth. So and you love it, I know. See, I really like it, and what the only thing I don't like when a guy tries to be all hot and like whisper and talk into my ear. I'm like, okay, bro, like back up and just don't try so hard. Say it with your chest, but say it with your chest. But I really like, one of my favorite things, if we're just talking about the ear thing really quick, is when a guy like you're doing stuff, you're having a good time, whatever, he like gets up all in your ear and just breathes. Oh, dude. It gets me going. So it's not like a in your ear like kind of thing. It's kind of like a just like a. I'm just picturing. It's not that, dude. It's not that. In my ear. When it's just like a breathly moan like that, it's just it's so attractive, and also like it just getting like kind of like a breath blown in your ear. You can it's kind of stimulating in a way. Not for me. It's hot for me. It stimulates me in all the wrong ways. And don't bite my ear though. I used to like that. I don't like it anymore. This is the key thing to get. Every girl is different. Yes. So just ask questions. I like my neck. Love the neck. I really don't like my ears touched. So, and again, this is a conversation that if you have the conversation before, and I will tell people usually very quickly. If you just have conversations, then you can go into this situation knowing what your partner really likes and what they don't like. I have such a funny story that we can end the podcast on. Yes, tell your story. So I was on a date a little over a year ago. I was on the boat with a bunch of guys, and I got to be privy to some male conversation. And while we were on the boat, the guys were talking about having their nipples touched. And every single guy, there were multiple guys on the boat, and all of them were like, oh my God, I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Like during sex or just in general? In general. Okay. And also during sex. It's probably because they have PTSD from like. Well, so men don't have the same nerve endings. They don't have the same feeling and sensitivity in their breasts as women do. So for men, like, it's just an uncomfortable thing. So I, being the girl that I am, get in with my girlfriends and I start sending a message to the group chat, and I'm like, guys, did you know that men don't like having their nipples played with? Because I had no idea. And one of my best friends, she's so funny, she was like, yes, they do. I was like, are you sure? And she was like, she's been dating a guy for a few years, and she was like, he loves it when I play with his nipples. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. I was like, have you ever asked him? She was like, well, no, I don't have to. I was like, ask him. 45 minutes later, I get a response that said, well, we're fighting.
turns out the
Oh,
boyfriend did
no.
not appreciate having his nipples played with, and he said basically the relationship just got to the extent where they'd been they started sleeping together. She did it. He's obviously not going to complain about anything that she's doing because he doesn't want her to stop doing everything. So he's
Right.
like, all right, we'll just grin and bear it. And then you reach the point of no return where it's like, oh, I hate this, but now we've been doing this for 6 months, and I
know,
can't
and
tell
she
her
likes to
after
do it.
6
So
months.
how do I tell her I don't like it anymore?
Yeah, and
Then she's gonna ask questions like, why don't you like it anymore? What
and
happened?
she was so upset because she was like, I have been doing this for years, and she
she like
didn't.
it? Was it for
She
her?
didn't do it for her. She
Oh.
did it because she thought he liked it, and it's just like, you get in that routine.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of part of the routine. So for her to find out that after years, her whole part of their routine that he hated was
Damn.
a big. It was a
And
big
every time she's
source.
gonna go to do it, she'll be like, oh, never mind.
Well, yeah. So, guys, again, girls, everyone, don't be afraid to talk about what you like and you don't like.
Yep.
And if it's something that your partner is just like, I love that, and it's something that I know guys that love going down on women, and
Kings.
maybe the girls don't love that so much,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, some girls don't like it.
I mean,
Or just can't get off from it,
yeah. So, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
And I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong about letting your partner do something that really arouses them. If it's something that just absolutely disgusts you, obviously
Right,
it's
don't
not
do
something
it,
you
yeah.
should feel like you have to do. Men, with your nipples, if you hate having your nipples touched, you can tell your
She's
girl.
like, I want to touch him.
I mean, it might turn
Can
into.
you imagine?
Well, for
if
one
that
of the
was your
guys,
fetish?
for one of the guys on the boat, he was like,
Nipple fetish.
my partner does it because she knows that I hate it. So like, they'll be just sitting
Aw,
on the
that
couch,
sucks.
and she'll just like reach over and like lick or grab his nipple, and he's just like, oh my god, I hate it so much.
Oh,
And it's
man.
one of their like funny little couple things that they do, which everyone
Sure.
has their thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can end it on that little funny
Yeah,
note.
that was a great
but
story.
I
Well,
love it.
yeah, so
Don't be afraid to talk about what you like, and don't let it go
Yes.
5 years into your relationship with your partner doing something that you.
remember this line, we should be friends.
Oh, guys, we should be friends.
We should be friends.
We should be friends.
Yes.